Beth, thank you for visiting our club today. She's not speaking from the manual. It's to improve her speech for tonight. I think this is your second time for this presentation?
Third time.
Third.
Third time.
Well, 2 or 3 times. So I said, well, what are your goals since there's no manual? She said, well, I want to work on my body language, the flow of the speech, and I want to win. No, we all. So let's first talk about body language. You had very nice walking around, and that's important. I tend to get stuck right here, and this is my Adele nods. Here I am, and here I'll stay, and I'll die here. Very nice walking around. One tip I would give you for that, though, is if you're being videotaped tonight, let the videographer know, so they'll know to follow you around. That's just a tip that we've learned. Not me, because I'm always here, but some people who do walk around. Also for body language, you have the plunge, the swim, and the sinking. And for the plunge, you could have done something like this. You did do the swimming thing, and you did do the sinking thing. So that was all very good. So that's great body language. You could add the plunge if you'd like to. It flowed very, very well, which is one of your other goals. Very good emotion. There could have been more emotion though. And the one time I noticed that is when you said, I think when the Olympic swimmer was swimming or something, I looked stunned, or I was stunned, but you didn't really look stunned. So you may want to borrow a mirror and think of the deer in the headlight look. How did you really, really look when you were stunned? It was a little bit matter-of-factly when you said that you were stunned. Otherwise, the emotion was really, really good. Just a couple of other things. You said you had 3 tips to help people. If your timing is perfect, that's great. But whenever I do a speech, I never say how many points I'm going to make. For one thing, I don't practice enough, so I don't really like timing. But a couple of weeks ago, I did the 50 reasons I don't live in Minnesota. Obviously, there wasn't time for 50. So I did 1, 2, 3, 50. But I could have done 1, 2, 50. So if you're not sure of your timing, and you obviously are very much, but just for the rest of us, if you're not sure of your timing, just say, I have a few tips, or I have some tips, and if you see that yellow light, you just leave off one of your tips and nobody's going to know. Obviously, that's not really an issue for you. It's really more for the rest of us. A great wrap up. And in the beginning, you talked about a fork in the road. And in the end, you talked about a fork in the road. Now, there's lots of spare forks around here. I'm sure she'll agree. You could borrow a fork as a prop if you want to. That's my tips. So thank you very much. I hope you win.
Thank you.